Mon nom s'appelle SK, original.
YouTubers! Hello, it's Melissa, the M of the Emanation of Bespoke Hairstyles. I hope you're good and I hope you're well. Thank you very much for watching this posting. I have shown a picture and I will show it again. That picture is the base of somebody's hair that had been retightened 6 weeks before. Now that picture shows the base of the lock, and the base you can see a serpent's tongue, which means how the hair has been retightened. It hasn't been retightened, so no holes are within the lock. Remember, I'm an ex-certified Sisterlocks consultant, but as somebody who has practiced Sisterlocks for years and who wears it, and now who specializes in small, like bespoke locks installations and aftercare, it's really important for you to understand that there shouldn't really be this mystery behind what goes on when your hair is being retightened. And when we say the hair is being retightened, what we mean is the hair is being interlocked, interwoven within itself. Now, as for the interlocking method, if you went on YouTube, you'll find there's so many different types of interlocking methods. And Sisterlocks has specific rotations, they would call it, of interlocking. And so a lot of the time when people see our work, they always ask, what is your rotation? I think that's what it's called. What rotation are you using? Or what? Yeah, I think that's what it is. And the thing is that we don't have like a specific rotation that we use. A lot of the work that we do is quite bespoke to the hair. Sometimes you have hair that really resists being encouraged to lock, because that's what we're trying to do, is when we interweave, we're encouraging the hair to lock. And a lot of the times, some strands can resist it. So therefore, it means that the way we interweave the hair, we have to pass it in a different way. And it might be an unusual way where it's not like a traditional way, or it's not the Sisterlocks rotation way. I know there's many, as I say, 6 points, 5 points, 3 points, different points, 4-point system. And what interlocking is literally passing the hair through the base at different angles. Passing the hair at different angles through the base. That's what it is. But how you do that is really important. And as consultants, or small locks experts as we now are, what we have to do is pay attention to how we're interweaving the hair through. So the idea is to close up the holes. So the idea is normally, top, side, bottom, and the other side. And this is quite technical, but it's very important for you to be aware that the objective is so that when you touch your locks, it continues to be a tube and it's consistent from the base as much as it can to the tip. I do recognize that some people's tips are plumper, but you will see that gradual process at the end. And that means it's just how the hair locks is. But in terms of when a consultant or a locks expert is on your hair, it's supposed to be a tube. It's not supposed to end up having that serpent's tongue, which I will show you again. And the danger of the serpent's tongue, okay, let's say this client 6 weeks ago had their hair retightened. And then we recognize the serpent's tongue, so the hair is still not matured yet. It's still new hair, so it can be closed. You could work on that and close that. But the danger is if you keep on getting that type of finish to your locks and the rotation is done wrong, the worry is that you literally get longer and longer serpent's tongue. And let's say eventually the consultant recognizes that they need to close up that hole, that those two sides have locked. And therefore the consultant will only continue doing a different rotation to close that area, and therefore the top bit will be open still. Will be open, and there'll be space between those two sides. And that is the worry. The worry is that that lock will continue growing, but growing not strong together, but two sides locked and not meeting up. Some people are lucky and they can fuse together, but there have been times when people have not been fortunate, and then you get because it's weak. Because if you imagine you split the lock in two, so it's weak. So they're stronger together, but if you separate them, they're weak. And what ends up happening is stretching, and one side is weaker than the other. And as the lock gets longer, it can't take the weight. And that's the danger of having thick, thin locks. And what you're trying to do is get the consistency of all the same size. But if you get thick, thin, the thin part, which sometimes is caused by how the rotation happens when your hair is being retightened over months, what is likely to happen, that thin part is the part that's going to become weak, and eventually the lock will break off. So I'm not asking you to be obsessed about it, but I want you to be aware of it. And that's why I do these postings, for you to be aware and check, because no one's perfect, and sometimes it happens to, it can happen to anyone, even the best consultants. But it is something that can be corrected. The problem is if it's not corrected and not observed early enough, and if over months you're having that same type of rotation, then it's a problem, because your hair is going to lock in two separate lock formation, two separate, where else they should be together. And for the consultants who actually, are responsible for doing the rotation, honestly, I would say I just pay attention, because as I said, there's some hair types that you could do the same rotation to the other person's hair and it works, and then some other people it just doesn't. You need to change your hand a bit to accommodate and to make sure that locks is up. So that's what I would say. How I cope with that, knowing that everybody's hair is different, is I don't make the assumption. I actually make sure that I'm observing what I'm doing. And as I'm passing the hair through, I'm observing to make sure it's closing. And also I check the next retight. You have to check to see that, okay, that method works. But sometimes you might have to change your method. You have to change your hand, how you interlock, to make sure that next time that's not the case. So I hope this helps you understand when I refer to the serpent's tongue, what I mean. And what you want to do is not have the serpent's tongue. You want to avoid having that. I'll put the picture again to the end so you can remember what it looks like, so you know what to check for. And this is especially with people who have a niggly feeling that it isn't being retightened, your locks are retightened properly. And should you be questioning the serpent's tongue? Is it right? This is to help you decide whether you're happy with the way your hair is being retightened or not. Thanks for watching this posting. Take care of you. Bye.
On y va.
Tout le monde est présenté, mon chance,